Hey guys, it's Mr. Glure here. It's a quick video talking about the surface area of cylinders. I thought you guys did really well in class today, but it's a quick review, just in case you have any questions or you need some reminders. So let's get right into it. In class we talked about, well, Thomas came up with a can of fish guts or whatever, but let's try something a little bit better. We have a can of Chef Boyardee overstuffed beef ravioli here. We're going to find out if we were to wrap this up, as a present or whatever, how much wrapping paper we would need. And that way we figure out the surface area of this cylinder. So let's draw a quick picture here to show what we have. I'm not sure if these measurements are exactly correct, but we're going to say that this would have a radius of maybe 5 centimeters, and it would have a width down here of, I don't know, let's try 7 centimeters. Okay? So, if we're going to find out the surface area, all we really need to find out is the area of 3 shapes. And if we break this cylinder up, it would look like a rectangle with 2 circles. Now, you know the formula for a circle is pi r squared, and the area of a rectangle is length times width. So that's all we need to find, right? Since we only have 2 numbers though, we know the radius and the width. The only tricky part is to find the length. Remember that. But the tool that we're going to use is that the length is the exact same as the circumference of the circles. We'll get to that later, okay? But first, let's figure out just the area of the circles. That should be easy. So, if we move down a bit here, get some room. The area of the circle, like I said, pi r squared. So we have 3.14, and the radius was 5, I think, I remember, squared. So we'll do that square first, pretty easy. 5 times 5 is 25, and 25 times 3.14 is 78.5. And remember, we always want to use the right units because this is area. We're going to use centimeters squared. Don't forget that. Now, if you remember, there are 2 circles. So instead of doing this all over again, why don't we just times it by 2? So 78.5 times 2 equals, I think this is going to be a nice number. That will be 157 centimeters squared. We can put a square around that because we're going to use it later. And there we go. That's the surface area of our squares. Now we'll move on to the rectangle. And as you remember, we only have the width, so we have to find the length. This is the tricky part, but I don't want you to get stumped. If you don't have it, just think about it. It wraps around the circles. This rectangle wraps all the way around the circle. So it's the exact same as the circumference of the circle. I know you guys know how to find the circumference of a circle. It is pi d for diameter. We don't know diameter, but it's just double the radius, right? So we can punch those in. Pi, obviously, is 3.14. And then our radius is 5, so double that would be 10, right? Put a 10 in there. And that's pretty easy. That's 31.4 centimeters. That's our diameter. That's our circumference. Right? So that's also the length of our rectangle. And then it's very easy. Length times width, which as you can see there is 7 centimeters. And we can do that over here. Area of our rectangle equals length times width. Our length was our circumference, 31.4, times our width, which was 7, and that, we would get 209 or 19.8. Remember our units, centimeters squared. And we can put a little box around that one as well because we're going to use it. Now, we have the area of our circles. We have the area of our rectangles. Now, if we put it all together, we have the entire surface area of this can of beef ravioli. So that's very simple. We have 157 plus 219.8, just so we remember our place values. And that would give us 376.8 centimeters squared. And we always put a little therefore statement. Therefore, because I didn't really make a word problem, we'll just say the surface area. The surface area is 376.8 centimeters squared. Alright. And if you want to afterwards, kind of break them all up into little sections, just so it makes it a little easier for me or Mr. Ross to mark these. There we go. And that's about it. So remember, as we go through this, whenever you have a cylinder, you draw a little picture or diagram to help yourself. And you can break it up into a 2D object over here with a rectangle and two circles. Then, as you go through, okay, there we go. Now we can see the whole page. That'll be a little easier to see. So, like I was saying, you draw yourself a diagram, and if you split it up into a 2D object, you have a rectangle and two circles. Right, so the circles are pretty easy to find. The trick is, you're usually not going to get the length of your rectangle. Remember, that length is the same as the circumference of the circles. Okay, that's the trick. Don't forget that, all right? Anyway, look forward to seeing you guys Monday. We're going to take this up, hit the ground running. So, good luck. See you then. Thanks.